We play and call it work.
Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com with Lee and Josh and Kris and Steve. And welcome to our intro video for our Blood Bowl campaign. That's right, we're going to be playing a season of Blood Bowl. This video is just an introduction. It's a bit of a teaser trailer, I guess you can say, because you're not going to actually see any games today. It'll be starting in a week or two. We'll put the actual details of when it'll start in the description below. But in this video, we're going to show off the 5 games that we're going to, or 5 teams that we're going to be playing, so you have an idea of what is coming up. The way it's going to work is quite simple. We're going to play a round robin style season where there will be 10 games with the 5 of us. Everybody will play everybody else once, and then the worst team is cut when it goes to the semifinals. And the worst team is the team with the, I guess, the lowest win rate. And if there's a tie, then we'll look at the team values to choose a winner there. And then the 4 remaining teams will play semifinals, best 2 of 3, and then we'll go to the finals for the 2 winning teams for the best 2 of 3 as well. So we have no idea where this is going to go. We're using all the normal Blood Bowl rules, including their season rules for upgrading. So if you want to look those up, just do a Google search for Blood Bowl rules, and it shouldn't be too hard for you to find them. And this is also in anticipation of the fact that Games Workshop is working on the next edition of Blood Bowl, which we're pretty excited for as well. So this is, if you happen to be watching this just like a couple months later and it's already out, this is using the older rules. Not sure what's changing because we haven't seen the new rules quite yet. So let's take a look at all of the teams.
Starting off with my team, the East Reptilian Dysfunctionaries. Pretty simple setup. I have 4 skinks out front, big old Croxagore in the middle, and then 6 Saurus. And then I was able to purchase 2 rerolls.
Anything you can tell us about your army? Special rules?
Overall, not a lot of special rules. I mean, the Saurus themselves have no special rules, but they're all strength 4, armor 9, so they're pretty beefy.
But very, very low agility.
Very super low agility.
So they suck at dodging, they suck at picking up the ball, they suck at throwing the ball. So they're just bruisers, basically.
Essentially, yeah. Croxagore, he's strength 5, agility 1, armor value 9. He's got kind of the regular big guy things: loner, bonehead, mighty blow, thick skull, and he has prehensile tail, which makes it a little bit tougher to dodge away from him.
So basically, if you're wondering what all that means, if you're new to Blood Bowl, don't worry, we'll explain it all as we play. Essentially, he can hurt people a lot easier, and it's a little harder to hurt him too. But since he's a loner and a big guy, the coach isn't able to influence him quite as much because there are rerolls in this game. What about our skinks? What rules do they have?
Skinks, low strength. They're only strength 2, but they're 3 agility, armor value 7, movement 8, and they have dodge and stunty.
Now, dodge helps them obviously to dodge, but what does stunty do?
It makes them a little bit easier to hurt.
Oh, so stunty is against them.
Correct.
So they're really fast. They can easily dodge away from things. They're a little harder to knock down because they have the dodge skill, but if they do get knocked down, they get hurt a lot easier.
It's a +1 bonus to the injury roll.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they get hurt a lot easier then. And that is the East Reptilian Dysfunctionaries.
Alright, here are my Hargamith Gladiators. It's my Dark Elf team. It's a team very similar to humans, but with 1 more agility on everybody. So my linemen are just basically humans with better agility, and the rest, the specials and the Witch Elf, all have better movement as well. The Witch Elf in the back, she is a lot more useful with Frenzy, Dodge, and Jump Up, which gives her a lot of bonuses for being on the ground. I had a couple of Blitzers, just fast humans with Block, and 2 runners up front, fast humans with Dump Off.
Dump Off allows them, if somebody tries to block them, they can pass off the ball. So it's the idea with the elves is different than the Lizardmen in that they try to use their high agility and high speed to basically do a passing and running game.
Here we have the Altdorf Old Timers. It's a human team from the Empire. We have 6 linemen, 2 blitzers, a catcher, and a thrower. And we have the 1 star player model just representing my reserves that I have a 12th man.
Is he just a lineman?
He's just a lineman, yeah. But he's just going to represent that. And, of course, if the opportunity arises, I will take that model as who he is.
Now, blitzers, they're just linemen with block, right?
Yeah, they're linemen with block. The linemen have no special abilities other than being movement 6, 3s, and 8s for armor, being fairly sturdy. The blitzers are a little bit faster with a speed of 7, but otherwise the same as the linemen, but they have blocks, so they have some survivability there. The thrower is the same as the lineman as far as stats are concerned, but he does have sure hands and pass.
Basically allows him to throw it and pick it up a lot easier.
Yeah, and so you can pick up and throw easier. And of course, the other guy with the big red mitt is my catcher, and he is faster than the rest of the humans. He moves an 8, but he is not quite as strong, and his armor is also a little less, and he has the special abilities catch and dodge.
So catch obviously to catch, and dodge obviously to dodge. Does what it says on the tin.
Yep.
And that is the Altdorf Oldtimers?
Altdorf Oldtimers.
Here we have my Norse team, the Iceland Puffin Punchers.
Who doesn't love to punch some puffins, right?
Right. They're basically a human team. They have 1 less armor than most teams. They have armor 7.
Now, are they human, or is there actual specific slot for them?
They have a special slot.
So it's a Norse team?
Yeah.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
But Norse are just humans, but obviously
With-
Icelandic.
Yeah.
Or,
With added werewolves. Of course. Who doesn't have werewolves?
of course.
My whole team has block, which kind of makes me a cheater. But, yeah.
So we have 6 linemen,
6 linemen.
all with block. So
All
they're
with block.
human stats, but lower armor.
Yeah.
And all with block, though. And then we've got
2 werewolves.
2 werewolves.
They're strength 4. They're pretty beefy.
Any other special
Agility
rules
2
with them?
and frenzy.
Okay, so frenzy is the one where if you block somebody and they don't knock them down, then you can block them a second time.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big deal. So it lets them push people off the board or just get better control of things. But they are they're higher armor as well, but they're lower agility.
Yeah.
So they're not about playing with the ball; they're about killing people.
Bruisers.
And then we've got the 2 blitzers, and they have block as well, but they have frenzy as well.
Yeah, they have frenzy and
Oh,
jump up.
And jump up, which allows them to stand up without using any movement, and they can even block from standing up as well.
Which is pretty good. And then we have my catcher. He has block and dauntless. Dauntless is a pretty interesting skill.
What does it do?
When he's throwing a block against someone who has higher strength than him, I roll a d6, add my strength to that score, and if the total score is more than the strength of the target, I count my strength as being equal.
Oh, okay. So you have a chance of not having a penalty
Yeah.
against somebody higher. Awesome. So that is the Icelandic Puffin Punchers. Slight correction. There's actually 1 less lineman, and there is a thrower as well. So he just has the pass special rule. And finally, we have my team, the Corn Crushers. The Chaos Warriors team is actually pretty straightforward. There's only 3 options: Warriors, Beastmen, and a Minotaur. But starting with a Minotaur would really seriously hamper how many guys I can bring onto the pitch. And so I just decided to go with 4 Chaos Warriors and then 7 Beastmen. Now, the Beastmen are pretty much like linemen, except they have the Horns special rule. It's a mutation rule that gives them +1 strength whenever they blitz. And if you're not familiar with Blood Bowl, basically once per turn, somebody can move and block to try to knock somebody down or push somebody out of the way. And if they do that, they get to +1 strength because of the Horns. The Chaos Warriors are simply just beefier. They have strength 4 and armor 9, which pretty much everybody you've seen so far has been armor 7 or 8. But we have 4 guys here with a higher strength and a higher armor. So the idea with them, no special rules, at least not until they upgrade. They're just guys that are meant to control areas. Everybody has the same agility. It's just an agility of 3. I'm not meant to be a fancy team, more just block some guys and slowly get the ball up the pitch. So stay tuned. We will be doing our Blood Bowl League very soon. All the details in the description below. And of course, the way it'll be working will be that every week we'll come out with 2 games until the semifinals of the finale, which might be 3 games. The first one is for free, and the other ones are in the MiniWarGaming Vault. So stay tuned for Blood Bowl. Happy wargaming.